So we've just arrived at Gosport Marina, and it's 10 o'clock. A bit of a late start today. If we were on in Juna, we'd be sailing in about 10 or 15 minutes, but I think we've got a few things to do, so he's had to pop into the Chandlers to do a few bits. And let's have a look and see what time we actually get on the water. He's now got to go into the office. So we finished, eventually we got him at the Chandlers. And now we're parked up, engine running, gone into the office. Don't know what he's got to do, but anyway, it's a nice day, lovely day to sit in a car. Dave's just told me this, that all Premier Marinas have got rid of all of their hoses. They got rid of all of their hoses on the pontoons because of health and safety. All of the Premier Marinas all over the country. And as a gift, because they put you out so much, look what they brought every berth holder.
I got texted telling me I had a gift. I've just picked it up. It's got a little connector, like little spray.
Yeah, but they get rid of the hoses and give you a thing to put on the end of a hose. I mean, what's that all about? Extraordinary.
So, they've completely changed the way they're doing the batteries on the boat. Already you've got a challenge. So the first challenge is, why is this not seated? I'm guessing that the batteries are not going to be secured properly. I guess that's going to be my first concern.
There's lots of shelves and compartments for your spares and your oils and stuff, doing it. Look at the space, it's bigger than my boat in there. So we've done the batteries. What do we need to do before we can sail?
I would like to check those hoses that he talked about.
Fuel hoses. Right, you are.
Engine calorifier and engine hose he talked about, didn't he?
Let's have a look at those.
Good. Both those tight?
Yeah, that one's as tight as I can get it. The other one's tightened up.
That's brilliant there.
Get dressed with Davey. Careful with those boots, you don't want to damage them.
The plan is, it's a little bit rushed, I have to be honest. Late night last night. Very varying wind speeds. By the way, my weather too had us down for 42 knots of gusts today, and all the other forecasts was what, 29 or something?
Yeah,
was
20 or less, 20 something. By the way, just before it carries on, it was beautiful, beautiful February day. Sun was out, blue sky. Of course, as the hours have drifted on, it's become a little bit more British winter.
Oh, since they've done my engine, my instruments aren't working.
Not away yet. So not the best of starts for my old mate here. He's just spent a lot of money on his engine and it doesn't seem to have done a lot. Not much different. Then we came here.
Discouraging is the word.
Yeah. Then we fired her up and discovered that the engineer has somehow disconnected the instruments. Can't find out why or where that's happened. So we're sailing today without instruments. That means we haven't got depth, and we're going to anchor up somewhere in shallow waters. It's not as stupid as you might think, because we know the depth of tide and we know where we're going, but all of these things. We're not going very far today, but we are going somewhere where very few people go. We're going to leave Gosport Marina in Cool Runnings, and we're going to anchor up here at Hayling Island in shallow waters, but in the lee of East Winner Bank. So we'll leave Gosport Marina, keeping ballast buoy to port. We'll exit through the main entrance, keeping just inside the main channel until we get to buoy number 4. Soon after that, if all clear, we'll cross the main channel. The Queen's Harbour Master has recently made some significant changes to pilotage around the entrance of the harbour. We'll put a link to this in the information section below. We'll then head east, passing through the gap in the submerged barrier. Take a heading of approximately 110 degrees, heading for Winner South Cardinal. At Winner, we'll head off at 30 degrees towards the Yellow Buoy. At the Yellow Buoy, we'll go due north, adding a little bit of west to our heading as we approach the shore. Our intention is to anchor on the 1 metre contour. We have 2 metres of tide at least today. However, we have no instruments, so we'll feel our way in. Knowing that we're in a rising tide, we're not too worried.
Yeah, so with the aircraft carrier coming in, they've re-dredged all the channels. You'll also see some new buoys or posts or beacons, which are huge, and as a result of the dredging, apparently if you do what we did 9 months ago, which is to stay just outside the main channel, in fact local bylaw insisted we did, now we have to stay inside the main channel, and going out we have to keep to the westward edge. Coming back in, you keep slightly to the east of that same channel marker. So you've got like a little, almost like traffic separation idea, going backwards and forwards for small boats like ours.
Still be there, cool runnings when we get back, please. Hold of that anchor. Yeah. On the beach. This is where they invented windsurfing. Did you know that? The guy that invented it was based here, and because of that bank, that shallow bank, it's sheltered and flat and relatively shallow. It's like the mecca for windsurfers. If you come here in the summer, there's probably 1,000 windsurfers out there. There was a navy base here, and the Cockleshell Heroes were based here, and from here they left in a submarine, and they were dropped off at the River Gironde in southern France. They canoed 70 miles, took them 5 days, to Bordeaux, I think it was, where they sank numerous German ships.
Impressive, that.
Yeah, all from here, eh? Well, we've still got those spare socks. Nicely done, Skip. It's cold today.
Freezing today.
Coldest I've been for ages.
Partly because we're motoring into a north or northwest wind that's going to be the worst of all, spraying your face.
We've hardly spoken because you can't hear each other.
Pardon? Gone deaf.
Noise of the wind, noise of the rain, banging of the waves. There's a chap called David Pocock. David, if you listen to this, I've remembered this because David Pocock has got a boat in Itchenor, and he takes out every winter, and he wrote on YouTube a little while ago, "You guys have inspired me to maybe leave my boat in the water one winter." Nice. David, don't be so stupid. Take it out, stay in your warm house by a warm fire.
I'll tell you what was interesting though, what was interesting today was you make a calculation based on an anchorage thinking that the winner, east winner spit outside of Langstone Harbour will give you enough shelter to anchor and then take the tender in, but when you're going there the swell is probably a metre and a bit more, and you're thinking if it's like this, not a hope, and then you gradually get closer to shore and your hopes rise a wee bit, and finally today it did work out. It doesn't always work out like that, does
East winter protected us, didn't it?
It did.
We asked the question last time, do we prefer, the journey or the arrival?
Yeah.
And we concluded it was the journey. I think that was pretty...
I think we're backslidden this week. That was suspect
conclusion.
That was very suspect. I did start my contribution with Nelson's oft-quoted poem, which actually was not suspect, which is "Heaven and a safe harbour are a welcome end," and the inn by the beach was most definitely a welcome end, except it wasn't quite the end, was it? We had to come back out again.
So there's another debate then, another question.
Oh dear.
Because we've been sailing today, Dave's boat, honestly, he got no instruments at all, so we didn't have any wind, we didn't have any depth, the most important thing on a boat. Nothing. And so we were taking a risk. But it made me think, I have my depth set to depth of water, not depth under the keel. Dave has his set to depth under the keel, like most people, not depth of water. Pros and cons for both.
True.
Debate.
You want me to debate?
Discuss.
Well, I'm actually happy with either. I think the reason I like it is that if you get a reading, you know precisely that's what you've still got under your keel. The downside is when you're doing your calculations, tidal heights and all that, you've got to remember to do your calculation the right way round, whereas you haven't got to do a calculation with yours. That's the real plus, I think.
Yeah, that's for me why I do it. It's just, you haven't got to take into account your draft when doing your calculations, so it's dead easy.
But the safety for me is if it says 1.8 metres, I know I've got 1.8 metres under the keel, I know I'm safe. If it says 1.8 in yours, I'm thinking we're about to go aground any minute. In fact, we are aground.
Yeah, but you soon learn to realise that 1.8, 1.9 means ground.
Yeah.
The downside is if you've got a new crew on board and you leave somebody at the helm and you forget to tell them.
Now that is a downside, right?
So I'm a bit conscious of that every time I hand the helm over.
But again, the depth alarm, mine's set to 1 metre, yours is set to 3 from memory.
Yeah, so that's 1 metre below the keel, roughly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, true. That will always give us a warning. What do you think?
I think it'd be great.
No, I was talking to everybody else.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to hear everybody else's opinion. I do. We can even do a vote. Let's see who wins.
Depth of water or depth under the keel? Which is it? One more confusing question.
I do.
I've never really understood why our wives don't come sailing with us in the winter.
I'm always understood.